Hello everyone, this is Lata Akula. In this video we are going to study about prokaryotic cell. In the last video we have studied about introduction of the cell. In that we said that the cells can be differentiated into prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell based on presence or absence of a proper membrane bound cell organelles and presence of a nucleus with a nuclear membrane, right? Here in this prokaryotic cells, what are present? The organisms which do not have proper cell organelles and the nucleus is not bounded by any nuclear membrane. Those organisms have been included in this prokaryotic cells. And what are those organisms? Bacteria, blue-green algae, mycoplasma, pleuropneumonia-like organisms, all the bacteria were included in the prokaryotic cells, and these bacteria are microscopic. Microscopic means what? They cannot be seen with our naked eye. They are highly minute and microscopic organisms, and these are smaller organisms, but they rapidly multiply when compared to the eukaryotic cells. And the shape of these organisms also varies. Some of the bacteria, they may be rod shaped, some of them may be round shaped, some bacteria are comma and spiral shaped. As we have already studied about these characters in the biological classification lesson in the Monera, we have studied about all these characters. So the rod-shaped bacteria are called as bacilli, round-shaped bacteria are called as coccus, comma-shaped ones are called as vibrio, and spiral-shaped bacteria are called as spirillum. And here we see the characteristic feature of these prokaryotes. Here they consist of cell wall, and see this is the cell wall. Inside the cell wall there is a cell membrane is present, and inside the cell membrane there is a fluid matrix is present. See this is a fluid matrix. That fluid matrix is called as cytoplasm. Cytoplasm was present, but they do not have well defined nucleus. See this, the nucleus was present, the genetic material was present, but it is not covered by any membrane. The nuclear membrane was absent. Hence, the true nucleus was absent in the prokaryotic cells. Hence, the genetic material, see, this is the genetic material, it is not bound by any membrane. Hence, it is called as naked genetic material. And many bacteria, this is the chromosomal DNA, and some of the bacteria, they consist of, in addition to this chromosomal DNA, there is extra chromosomal DNA is present, which is in the form of a circular structure that is called as a plasmid. So what is present? Some of the bacteria, not all the bacteria, some of the bacteria, they consist of extra chromosomal genetic material which is in small circular form, that is called as plasmid. Here, the presence of this plasmid that confer some extra characters to the bacteria. For example, some bacteria, they consist of the plasmids that gives resistance to antibiotics. That gives resistance to antibiotics. They may be resistant to several antibiotics like penicillin, erythromycin, etc. And next, no other cell organelles are present like eukaryotes. They do not have any membrane-bound cell organelles, as we have already studied, like Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, vacuoles. Almost all the membrane-bound cell organelles were absent here. But that they both eukaryotes and prokaryotes, they consist of one structure which is called as ribosomes were present. See, so these ribosomes were present in the both prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell, which is not membrane bound. And if you see the cell envelope, it consists of this cell envelope. It is chemically complex in the bacteria. It consists of three layers. How many layers are present in the cell envelope? Three layers are present. They are, the outermost one is the glycocalyx, the second one is the cell wall, and innermost one is called as plasma membrane. So what is the first one? Glycocalyx, followed by the cell wall, which is followed by the plasma membrane. And if you see the glycocalyx, this is the outer coating. This is the outer coating is present, right? This is called as glycocalyx. It contains mucus or polysaccharide. macromolecules. What it consists of? It consists of mucus or polysaccharide, and the function of this glycocalyx is it gives protection to the bacteria and also helps in the adhesion to the host cells. So the bacteria which have the slime layer or glycocalyx, that those bacteria that can easily attaches to the host cells when compared to the bacteria which do not have the glycocalyx. So what is the function of the glycocalyx? That provides protection and also helps in the adhesion. Adhesion means attachment. And this glycocalyx, it may be a loosely arranged one or tightly arranged one. If it is a loosely arranged layer, that is called as a slime layer. If it is a thick and tough covering around the bacteria, that is called as capsule. How many different types of glycocalyx were present? One is the slime layer and another one is the capsule. What is meant by slime layer? The slime layer is nothing but which is the loosely arranged structure, whereas a capsule, it is thick, tough covering around the bacteria. And the function of this slime layer is it prevents the loss of water. So the loss of water and nutrients from the bacteria will be stopped by this slime layer and also helps in the attachment, adhesion process also. Whereas a capsule, it is a thick and tough covering, and the function of this capsule is that helps the bacteria to hide from the host immune system. Whenever any bacteria enters into the host immune system will reacts and sends antibodies which will kill the bacteria. But this capsule is present, because of the presence of that capsule, the bacteria that can hide from the host immune system. At the same time, this capsule that gives the bacteria a gummy or sticky nature also. And this capsule that provides virulence characters to the bacteria. Virulence means pathogenic character. The capsule provides virulent nature to the bacteria. Virulent nature means pathogenic character. So the bacteria which consists of capsule, they are called as virulent bacteria, and the bacteria which do not have the capsule are called as avirulent bacteria. The bacteria which consists of capsule are called as virulent bacteria, and the bacteria which do not have the capsule are called as avirulent. Avirulent means non-pathogenic. That means the pathogenic nature also conferred by this capsule. And the next one is, what is the next one in the cell? And cell wall. The cell wall that gives shape and support to the bacteria. And here the bacterial cell wall is rigid, that is due to the presence of peptidoglycan and or murin. The presence of this peptidoglycan, it is the characteristic feature of the bacterial cell wall. It is present only in the bacterial cell wall. And here some of the antibiotics will act on the cross linkages present in the peptidoglycan. Example for the antibiotic which will act on the cross linkages was penicillin. Penicillin acts on the cross linkages present on the peptidoglycan and causes the lysis of the bacteria. Here, depending on the nature of the cell wall of the bacteria can be classified into gram-positive bacteria and gram-negative bacteria. Here, the gram-positive and gram-negative characters, it was differentiated by a person called Christian Gram. He classified the bacteria into gram-positive and gram-negative. If you see the gram-positive bacteria, they consist of high amount of peptidoglycan, whereas gram-negative bacteria, they consist of low amount of peptidoglycan and consist of lipids. High amount of lipids were present. So gram-positive bacteria consists of no lipids, consists of high amount of peptidoglycan. There is a gram-negative bacteria that consists of high amount of lipids but low amount of the peptidoglycans were present. So depending upon this nature, Christian Gram, he introduced a staining technique for the bacteria. The staining technique, the staining is the important process done for the bacteria to observe under the microscope, because the bacteria, these microorganisms are colorless. If you want to observe the microorganisms under the microscope, we have to add some colors to them. So here that is called as a staining technique. This Christian Graham also he introduced a staining technique for the differentiating the gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria. This gram-positive bacteria that consists of peptidoglycan, after staining the gram-positive bacteria that will appear in purple color, whereas gram-negative bacteria they appear in pink color. So depending upon that staining and the final result, he classified the bacteria into gram positive bacteria and gram negative bacteria. This process, the staining process, I have explained in the Monera. In the biological classification lesson, in the Monera, I have explained this gram staining procedure also. And the next one is plasma membrane. In the next video, we are going to study about plasma membrane.